Happy Friday. Not so happy Friday for me. I went to go get my mufflers. It's the middle of the day. It's lunchtime actually. And the mufflers were not done. One was still exactly where I left it. The other one was up on the table in a vise, getting ready to be welded, but the guy hadn't started anything. He hadn't done anything. So basically the mufflers just sat in this garage for 2 days. Nothing got done. So I picked them up. I'm going to take them somewhere else. Another place that I found that I actually called them up and explained what I needed to get done and asked how busy they were. They said they're not that busy. They're going to get it done. So we'll see. Hopefully these can get fixed today. It's extremely frustrating depending when you call and ask if someone can do a certain job and you explain and show it to them. They're like, yeah, no problem. We can take care of that. And then it doesn't get done. Super frustrating because the whole time, the last 2 days now, the Porsche is sitting on the quick jacks in the middle of the garage, taking up space, not doing nothing. It's not drivable. Can't park the Audi where it normally is. Can't do anything. I guess it's first world problems, right? Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I could just slap some damn JB Weld on there and call it good, but I'm trying to do things the right way.
3 hours later.
Can you move it along? I'm all out of time cards.
So I just picked up the mufflers and sorry, I forgot to record where I got it done and all that. The mufflers are fixed. One side he told me was really bad. The other side wasn't so bad. What they did was they pulled back the flange, or they cut off the flange. They fixed the crack that actually went under the flange all the way across. Fixed that, then re-welded the flange back onto the mufflers. I'll show you that here in a minute when we get home. The other thing I did was I removed my center exhaust, my Sharkwerks. It sounds absolutely amazing. You really do feel the power difference with it. I took it off, not really because I wanted to or because I needed to. I took it off because I need the car to be OEM Plus. And that Sharkwerks exhaust was just a little bit one step past the OEM Plus mode. And the reason I say I need the car to be OEM Plus is I may have to sell the car. I have other stuff going on in my life that I'm not talking about right now, and I debate with myself all the time whether I'm going to make a video about it. It's been going on for a long time, but I'm not going to make a video about that right now. I'm not going to talk about that. I just need the car to be pretty close to stock, and for many reasons. One is to sell it. The other is troubleshooting. One of the problems when they were trying to troubleshoot the car is that it's modified. You know, the ECU is tuned, the exhaust is modified. I had K&N filters. So when the car is modified, it can be harder to troubleshoot sometimes. Because you're working based off the factory specs, but with a modified car. So those factory specs are then modified. So it makes it more challenging sometimes. So if the car is close to stock or pretty stock, it makes it that much easier to troubleshoot when issues come up. But the main reason I removed the Sharkwerks X-Pipe is because I need the car to be pretty close to stock in case the proverbial crap hits the fan and I need to get out of the car ASAP. So you guys are going to see a few things come up. I'm going to post them on the Facebook 997.2 group, and I'm going to post them on Instagram. You're going to see some things come up that are going to be for sale in the future. And so if you're interested in those things, DM me, send me a message here on YouTube, send me a message on Facebook or Instagram, and I'll get back with you and we can work all that out. I'm not going to list anything on eBay. It's all going to be listed through social media and through direct communication with me. And if you're local, even better. You can hit me up. You can come look at the stuff, and we can talk about things and etc. All right, let me get home and reinstall this stuff. All right, so this is the new welds. What he did was they cut the tab completely off. This one was worse than that one. This is the driver's side one. So he had to weld, see where the crack was, how far it went. Had to weld under, take this tab off, weld all underneath there, and then re-weld the tab back on. The flange, whatever. The same thing on this side. This one wasn't too bad. So the weld only had to go a little bit past the flange. He said underneath was fine. It was just cracked on the edges. This was the bad one. So now that's all welded, and we'll reinstall in the car. And one thing I didn't show you before was we're gonna reinstall the stock muffler, which is sitting right there. I've got the clamps to hold it right there. And I got brand new hardware. We're not gonna use old hardware because it corrodes anyway. So we got brand new hardware with brand new lock nuts. The car will basically be back to, it was a stage 2 exhaust mod from FD Motorsports. This is gonna put it back to a stage 1 mod. So it'll still sound really good, but just normal casual driving, it'll sound completely stock. When you get above 3,500-ish RPMs or more, that's when you'll really hear the bypass or the Gundo hack. If you did that, that's when you're gonna hear that. So it'll still sound really good, but it'll be very close to stock. It'll be easy to sell. It'll have that OEM Plus feel. I did have to break 2 bolts, but luckily this exhaust has already, when it came off the first time, the studs that were in there from the factory had to get replaced with hardware, with bolts like I just showed you. So it was easier to just, one nut, I take that back, I only broke one. I had the nut got to the end of the bolt and sheared off, but that's fine because it's aftermarket, so I was able to just knock that bolt out of the hole. And I have the hole and I've got the replacement hardware, easy. So that's not a big deal. But yeah, I think we'll do this tomorrow. Change of plans again. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this now. We have daylight, and I was gonna go get on the PlayStation or something, but I know if I do something like that, I'm just gonna be in my head thinking the whole time. I don't wanna do that. So it should be straightforward and relatively easy. All the bolts torqued to 17 foot-pounds. All the exhaust bolts are all 17 foot-pounds or 23 Newton meters. The 2 clamps to hold the silencer in position is 11 foot-pounds. So I'm gonna get the silencer, the middle one, on there first with the clamps, and then I won't tighten anything down until everything's all set. But I'll just put it in place and hold it in place so then I can get everything else on. I don't want to tighten those in case that silencer needs to move left or right. That's why. All right, let's get to it.
Waiting for the sun, waiting for the sun, waiting for the sun. Waiting for the sun. Waiting for the sun to go down, to go down, to go down, to go down. Waiting for the sun. for the song, 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 waiting for the song.
So that is a wrap for today. The Porsche sounds stock again. I'll take it on a drive tomorrow in daytime. You see it's already dark outside. So tomorrow we'll take it on a drive. We'll try to listen to it. I'll put the mics on with the windbreaker so that you can hear it and see what it sounds like again. It sounds good. Don't get me wrong. It doesn't sound completely silent, but it does not sound as good as it did with that Sharkwerks X-Pipe on. I haven't cleaned it, but let me show you. There is, let me flip the camera on, it'll be easier. All right, so this one says Sharkwerks 1419. I don't know if this is the 1419th one they've made, but you can see the tubes are perfectly fine. They're not damaged, they're not bent. They've never been hit or road rashed or scraped from underneath. They're dirty, sure, but I'll show you the flanges. Flanges are in perfect shape. You can see there's been no leaks. If there's leaks, you see little black marks where it's leaking. There's been no leaks on it. We'll just set that there. Same thing with this flange, no leaks. Flange seals really nice. Tubes are perfectly straight. I mean, other than the mandrel bends that are in there by design. These will take place of your clamps. And here's the hardware that comes with it. You can replace these or not. These are still good because these aren't these bolts. These bolts you need to replace. The bolts on your flanges you need to replace. The tube is stainless steel. Just takes that color from the heat. And you should get some new. Now these are metal, so you can clean these and reuse these. And I'll throw them in the box if you want that. But you should get new ones of these and brand new hardware when you reinstall that. So now the car is back to OEM Plus. Stage 1, it's going to be a lot quieter. I'm really going to miss the power because I noticed when I put on this Sharkwerks pipe, there's definitely a increase in power. There was a decrease in bottom end torque just a little bit. You really didn't notice much, but there was definitely an increase in power. I'm going to miss that. Like the old saying goes, sometimes it's better to drive a slow car fast than a fast car slow. All right, I have something else I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about it in the next video, not now. It has to do with these. And I'm sorry my energy is not where it normally is. Like I said, something external is happening and it's kind of taking the winds out of my sails. So next morning, sun's out. I've got the microphones on, so the voice sounds a little different, but that's so I can put the microphone behind me on the wiper for the cold start. I have one here. Now when we're driving, the one that's on the wiper, I got to take it off there because I tried that before and it's too much noise, even with the little windsock on it, and it starts clipping and it cuts out the audio. So we don't want to do that. So I'm going to put it on there just for the cold start, and then after we do the cold start, I'll bring the wiper in here, but I'll leave the sunroof cracked open, and the mic, I'll put it up here near the top of the sunroof so you can hear the exhaust. So let's do a cold start. We should probably need to open the garage though. Yeah, let's do that. First cold start with the stock center muffler and the Pfister bypass on the side mufflers. So basically a lot less volume than what we had before. Let me open the garage. So not silent by any means. Of course, I just noticed he was back there, sitting on the engine. Silly. Not silent by any means, but definitely a lot quieter. Less noise, but you can hear the air pressure coming out of the mufflers. And actually, even yesterday, after I put everything back together, I turned it on and leak checked before I put the bumpers back on. I don't think I recorded that. When I did that, I could feel if there was any air coming out of anywhere, and it wasn't. It was sealed nice, but I could feel out of the tailpipe had more pressure, a little more air pressure and volume coming out of the actual tips. Now it's idling normally. Let's give it a rev. So it still sounds like a 911. It sounds like that classic 911 look. It's just turned the volume down. It's not completely silent. Right now at idle, sure, it sounds pretty close to stock because there's very low flow, so the bypasses are not being utilized. But it sounds very much like a 911, but it's not silent. So don't think it's going to be completely silent. It just sounds very close to stock. Like I said yesterday, OEM Plus. Now let's go for a drive. Here, it's just a lot less volume. Power-wise, it feels pretty similar. It does feel like a little less power, but not tremendously, just a little bit less. But you got to really get it over 4,000 RPMs now before you start hearing volume from the exhaust. Below 3,000, it's pretty quiet. It's pretty close to stock sound below 3,000 RPM, which is fine because most of the time when I'm driving this car fast, I'm above 4,000 RPMs anyways. When I'm just cruising, I don't want it to be all loud and obnoxious. I want it to be a daily driver. I'm happy with my choice for now. I'll catch you guys later.